releasing the sternocleidomastoid, using your fingers. There's some essential points. First of all, it goes from behind this ear. So you can see when I turn my head, there it is popping up right there, right? Goes from the sternum to the clavicle up to right behind that ear and pulls the head down. We want to work with the muscle relaxed. So let your right ear, we're going to work the right side, let your right ear tilt toward your right shoulder, just like that. Now, one common thing I see folks do is lift the chin, trying to find it, like, where is it? But if you lift the chin, it's going to get really hard to grab. So you want to keep the chin dropped and the right ear toward the right shoulder. Now you can use your right hand or your left. I like to reach across the body. And you can find it either up behind the ear. Again, notice even I started to do that, right? Keep the chin dropped. And it's the only thing you can really grab and wiggle on the side of your neck. So if you are grabbing a rope, that's sternocleidomastoid. I kind of like to start toward the bottom because I can stick my thumb right in that sternal notch, right ear to right shoulder, right, the chin is dropped a little, put the thumb right in that sternal notch, and then squeeze right there. There it is, bottom portion of sternocleidomastoid. Keep that chin dropped a little bit. And you want to kind of feel that rope. Can you follow that rope all the way up to behind your ear, just below your ear at the jawline? It's going to be tender up there at the top. But just see if you can kind of walk along and squeeze it. Oh, I just found a really tender spot right in the middle. So here's the thing. As you're squeezing along there, notice where is it tender for you. Down low can be a special trigger point, right in the middle, or right up. There tends to be some that gather right near the ear. So we're going to grab that rope. And here's the thing. Lots of folks grab around the rope. See if you can grab the rope itself. You want to actually pinch the rope in between your thumb and your finger. And then when you get a hold of that rope and you get a little tender spot in there, oh, then you might want to turn your head. Shake your head no, like no pain, no headache. I don't want you today. Just shake the head no, squeezing that rope. You should feel it change a little bit while you're turning your head side to side. I like to give it a little wiggle, kind of free it from the tissues that it gets adhered to in this area. And then we're going to walk down a little bit more. Notice I'm keeping the chin down, keeping the ear tilted toward the shoulder. Here's that rope, and I want to squeeze the rope itself. And when I do, ding, 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 it's like lights go off. I feel like I won the trigger point lottery. I got this special tender spot in here. Keep breathing. Turn your head side to side, squeezing that rope. Ooh, it's a tender one for me. I can feel that tissue kind of move around under my fingers. I feel it get more exciting when I turn my head side to side. And that's enough on that spot. And then I'm going to go down a little bit further. Okay, so this is the superficial head, that little spot. Oh, there's a really special spot I just found again, and I can feel it. Oh my gosh, I feel the pattern. I feel pressure around my eye. I feel pressure in the eye socket. I feel pressure on the side of my head. And that is all dissipating a little bit as I'm holding the point. So I'm going to squeeze that point for a little. Now I'm going to do a little shake the head no. Oh, that's such a tender spot. So here I am in that tender spot. I'm not squeezing real hard. I'm not trying to beat it to death, right? We just want to connect with that tenderness and send loving appreciation to it and send some loving thoughts and just turn the head a little side to side. See that I'm just real superficial. I'm squeezing that rope itself. And I'm going to keep sliding and walking down. If you find that you're having trouble holding on to it, check these things. Did you turn your head the opposite way? Yeah, it's going to be real hard to grab if you're working on the right side, but you're leaning to the left. Yes, it's going to be hard if you're looking up and turning your head. And it makes sense. You want to kind of move out of your own way, right? But instead, what you're doing is pulling that muscle taut and making it difficult to grab. So just keeping that chin a little soft down, keep the head slightly tilted to the right. Now I can feel sometimes right here at the bottom, there's a little point that can make it a little tender and hot right at the sternum. So I'm just going to hold that. Yep, doing great. Fine in there. So just keep checking. Then I'm going to take a little bit bigger grab, kind of pressing it between the heel of my hand and a bunch of fingers and kind of pulling it away from the neck. Ooh, that feels so good. Right. Now, the last part, if you are having vertigo symptoms and if you're having some dizziness, some ringing in the ears, that stuff does happen in the deeper head of the sternocleidomastoid. That can be a little trickier, and if that's a piece of your headaches, often releasing that superficial head will help that deeper head, but I am going to show you how to carefully get in a little more deeply to that second layer of sternocleidomastoid. I'm going to show you on the right side again. Just if you're working on the left side, tilt your head to the left and drop your chin. We're just going to stay on this right side. So if I turn my head there, my sternocleidomastoid kind of pops out. Now I'm going to drop the right ear toward the shoulder, drop the chin. Now I'm going to find that sternocleidomastoid, that real superficial spot where I just was. I'm going to sink my thumb in a little more deeply. I'm going to try to get deeper under. So now you can see I have a bigger grab on that tissue. And it's harder to isolate the rope, but you might be able to feel, oh, here I am on the edges, and I can feel that it's tender in there. Oh, and so I just have a deeper scoop. Now I'm underneath or deep to that first rope right on the outside. There's that superficial head. Now I get the thumb in a little more deeply, scoop more tissue from the back and my fingers, keep the head dropped, keep the chin low, and just squeeze the thumb and the fingertips toward each other. They're not going to touch. If they're touching, then you're not in the muscle because it's deeper underneath that rope. This one is a little trickier to find. So if you get annoyed with it or frustrated with it and you're like, I got it, just take a break, take some breaths, and then try again. Watch the video over and over and over, because when you're learning something new, you don't have any neural networks to support it. So it's common to be a little frustrated trying to find stuff at first, but then after several times of listening, you'll get it. I promise. Mostly. You have a much better chance of getting it. So now, so good. So now I'm going to come to sit up, and I'm going to turn my head side to side. My neck feels so much freer on this right side. My range of motion to the right is significantly improved. I don't know if you can see that difference between turning to the right and turning to the left. I get kind of stopped here. Because the right side SCM turns the head to the right, when I turn my head, or turns the head to the left, when I turn my head to the right, it is stretching, this one. I don't even feel that at all. But now if I go to the left, I can feel right behind the ear, just below the base of the skull, I feel that pull. That's that left sternocleidomastoid. So this #1 headache causing muscle, and as you can tell, as I've discussed, also causes other problems like ringing in the ears, a little jaw pain, forehead pain, pressure in the eye sockets, sinus pressure, all those things we talked about earlier on in this video. So now that you've treated your sternocleidomastoid and helped yourself deal with those terrible headaches and maybe lack of range of motion, turning your head side to side, there's other muscles you're going to treat. Remember, nothing works in a vacuum in your body. It's a symphony, a beautiful symphony. So sternocleidomastoid rotates and turns the head side to side, and so do the scalenes. So at some point you're going to want to treat those. And you got to open the chest so that the sternocleidomastoid isn't holding your head out here like 4 bowling balls. So you're going to want to open the pecs and release the chest also. You're also going to want to treat the back of the neck, posterior cervicals, splenius capitis, right? All of these pieces together are what to support you in really getting rid of your headaches. So keep watching, keep checking back. Some of the links we'll put in this description. And I know that this is going to help you improve your range of motion and reduce the severity and frequency of your headaches. I'll see you in the next video.